before you're...
Okay, let me see if I got it in for OZI.
Good afternoon, Matt. I'll let Alan do his thing and stand by W4MA.
Oh, okay, it's in for OZI. Let me see if I got it. Yeah, I got it. I got a nice echo going on in here. How did I do that? Well, a little reverb effect will be fine. I can get through it. This is in for OZI. This is the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Pre-Net. On today, Tuesday, February 6th, year of our Lord 2024. And my name is Alan, located in Woodstock, Georgia, and of course, call is in for OZI. So far on the pre-net, I have KF4TXQ Sam, K3JWI Ken, W4AX Mac, W4CDJ Dan, and W4MA Bill. That's who I have so far on the list. Any other additional check-ins to the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Pre-Net? Come now.
KA4AMI.
WB4WCJ.
Alright, I got Eddie, KA4AMI, and I got WB4WCJ, WB4WCJ, Paul, I'll get it right in a minute, and I got Roy, IDD, I got you in there. Let me get this W4, IDD, Roy. Any other check-ins?
W4KR.
Okay, Stan, you want in on the pre-net?
Sure, why not?
Alright, I'll put you in there in the pre-net, W4KR. Alright, any other check-ins for the pre-net? I think we got caught up, so send it up to the top of the list to Sam, KF4TXQ. Sam, how about some comments for the pre-net? This is N4OZI.
All right, N4OZI, the SAMRC pre-net for the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship net. This is KF4TXQ, and you've got a great signal, Alan, and everybody's doing real well. I'm having a little trouble copying Dan up there in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, but that's a fur piece. He's up there on the other side of the Ohio River from here. So anyway, you know how it goes. But anyway, I don't know which rig you're on, Alan, but it's sounding good. It's doing great. And everybody's sounding good. What a great net this is. I love the Tuesday night net. And we're just fiddling around in here. I've been reconfiguring my arrangement in this 6-foot rack cabinet I have in here, and it's got most of my equipment in, with the exception of the little house, and the little house is to the right side of it. And there's going to be a clone to little house down in the bottom of this 6-foot rack, and I've got it in a Johnson kilowatt matchbox case, and that's worked out very well. And I've got everything situated in there in the vertical arrangement, so that it's working out very handily in terms of everything organized and easy to get to and all that sort of thing. So anyway, Alan, good to hear you, and I hope everything's good up there in Woodstock, Georgia, on Lake Cheerful. I think that's what you call it, Lake Cheerful. Okay. So back to you, Alan, N4OZI in the pre-net. KF4TXQ, Dadeville, Alabama, over.
Okay, Sam. KF4TXQ in the pre-net, this N4OZI. Yep, Lake Cheerful. I'm near it. So we're here in Mountain Park, near my QTH here. It's a great lake. I got 3 fish in there, sitting there swimming around. Used to be in my fish pond. I moved them over to Lake Cheerful, and I'm sure they're happy about that. Let me see if we can pick up Ken now. I know he stepped away. Let's see if he's back. K3JWI, how about some comments for the pre-net? It's N4OZI.
N4OZI, K3JWI. Well, since pre-net started, I thought, well, I can wait a minute before I step away. But after this transmission, give me, you might skip me once or if I don't respond. But good evening to everybody. Alan, thanks for running the show. And we didn't mean to be going on and on and on there, Stan, but the time slipped by and we were having fun. Anyway, that's it. Nice day here in Harrison, and wife and I are getting ready to head to Orlando Thursday morning, so I guess that'll be the first time I take in that ham fest. The granddaughter's in a competitive cheer group, and she's performing Friday afternoon down at the ESPN Center down there, and or competing, I guess, not performing, but competing. So we thought, well, we'll go down and cheer her on, and then we'll also try to attend the Hamcation, which I've never been to. So there you go. Look at some new, fresh junk in Florida instead of the same old stuff I see in Dalton. Hi. W4OZI, K3JWI.
Okay, Ken. K3JWI, N4OZI. We'll have a great time down there at Hamcation in Orlando. I've never been, but every time I see the pictures, I wished I had gone. Fine on your granddaughter. That'll work out real well. So let's see. Let's send it over to Mac, and then after we talk to Mac, we'll take another standby for check-ins. Mac, how about some comments for the pre-net? W4AX, N4OZI.
Thank you, Alan, and thanks so much for running the pre-net. Good evening to everyone who's joined, and Ken, I hope you have a wonderful time down in Orlando. Alan, thanks so much for running the pre-net. You always do a great job. And I have an item that's free for the taking if somebody wants it. It is an RCA BTA1-MX 1000-watt AM transmitter. That the initials were Bravo Tango Alpha 1 Mike X-ray, and it uses a pair of 833s modulated by a pair of 833s. I think I looked at where it is. I think it's either South or North Carolina, not too far from Atlanta. And it's free for the taking. It's I've looked at pictures of it. It looks to be in really good shape. It's coming right out of a radio station, but it needs to get moved soon. Stan, you might pick that up also for the net in case somebody's interested. If somebody's interested, let me know, and I'll tell you how to get in touch to potentially have that transmitter. N4OZI, W4AX.
Okay, Mac, W4AX, and the pre-net is N4OZI. Anybody need a fill on that? Any fills needed? Come now. Okay, not hearing any, but if they do, they know how to get in contact with you on QRZ. All right, I promise we'll take a standby, see if you have any other check-ins, and this is the time. Any other check-ins for the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship pre-net? Come now.
Well, I did call in WB4WCJ.
Yeah, WB4WCJ. Paul, I got you in there. You're right after Eddie. Any other check-ins? All right, not hearing any. Yeah, Paul, you're just a little down the list, so we'll get to you here momentarily. Let's go up north a little bit to Dan, W4CDJ. How about some comments for the pre-net, Dan? This N4OZI.
Fine business, Alan. N4OZI. W4CDJ. Dan in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Well, that RCA rig sounded interesting. I might know somebody, Mac, that might be interested. I'll touch base with him and see. You know, it's a long distance from the greater Cincinnati area where I am. And then the other guy lives over in Indianapolis. But we've hauled bigger stuff, I guess. Actually, I have a Collins 20V here at the QTH in my old man cave, but I'm no longer in. And that was originally a 20V stock, but the guy, I think he was from Harrison, Tennessee, actually, Ken. I don't know. Down around Chattanooga somewhere. Anyway, his name was I.D. Byers. And he took the 20V that I have and took the 4-400s out and worked his magic and put some really nice iron in the bottom and put a pair of 833s, modulating a pair of 833s. I still have the rig. Every once in a while I can sneak into my sister-in-law's living quarters now on the ground floor and turn it on, warm the filaments, and click a key on the dummy load just to make sure it's still there, and it is. And the cabinet, and just, you know, the architecture of those old works is just beautiful. Big glass window and everything. The 20V was a beautiful transmitter in my mind. But anyway, Alan, thanks for picking me up, and I'll try to hang in here as long as I can this evening and maybe participate in the SAMRC Net. We'll see what happens. And I'll turn it back to you. N4OZI, W4CDJ.
Okay, Dan. W4CDJ in the prenet, the N4OZI. Very good signal coming in. You're 10 over here into Woodstock, Georgia, so coming in very loud. All right, let's pick up Bill, and then after that we'll take another standby for check-ins. Bill, W4MA, how about some comments for the prenet? This is N4OZI.
N4OZI, W4MA, good evening, Alan. Great signal as usual. Great to hear you. And good signal on everyone that I've copied so far. Dan up in, on the Ohio River right at Cincinnati, I believe. Good copy on you here in North Georgia. I'm a little bit north of N4OZI. But great copy on you. Mac, always you're booming in here. It sounds like you have something fairly new there in the shack with your big amplifier. That's got to be nice, enjoyable, and so forth. I hope you enjoy it. Beautiful day today. I hope everyone enjoyed the weather as I did. Spent a little time outside, quite a bit of time outside after lunch today. I just got in. Great to be here. Back to you, Alan, N4OZI, W4MA.
Okay, Bill, W4MA and the prenet, N4OZI. It's good to hear you booming in. And yeah, it's a fantastic day. We were out quite a bit today and be out again tomorrow, so it's going to be nice. Hopefully it'll stay that way. Starting to get a little spring fever, but it might be a bit early for that. Okay, I promised we'd take a standby. Let's see if we get any other check-ins for the prenet. This is N4OZI, Alan, in Woodstock, Georgia. And this is the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship prenet. Any other check-ins, come now.
Okay, WB4GWA.
Okay, I got John. I'm going to get this written down. And, give me a second here. I got you in there, Ron, WB4GWA. And then I had another. Let me write this down. I had a couple of other ones that doubled there. The other check-ins, try to space them out and try it again. All right, I got a WB4OQF, and what was the other one?
Whiskey Bravo 4, Kilo Juliet.
Okay, Whiskey Bravo 4, Kilo Juliet. Very good, got you in there. All right, let's pick up Eddie. KA4AMI. Eddie, how about some comments for the prenet? This N4OZI.
Okay, N4OZI, this is KA4AMI. Hope I'm not buzzing. I got my heater on behind me. So if I'm humming, that's probably where it's coming from. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Bill, up there, you sounded strong down here tonight. I was wondering what you were running. But anyway, you might comment on that if you get another chance. Anyway, let's see. Beautiful day here in Williamson. Went and had my taxes done this morning. I look forward to that every year. That's I'm kidding. Had that done, went out to lunch, took my wife out to lunch, and we just kind of sat around and tried to stay warm all afternoon. Right now it's chilly here in the shack. I'm trying to warm it up, but other than that, glad to hear everybody, and thank you, Alan, and Stan for taking care of us tonight. Back to you, Alan. N4OZI, this is KA4AMI Williamson.
Okay, Eddie. KA4AMI. Great signal coming in. This N4OZI up here in Woodstock, Georgia, and you're sounding great. Let's pick up Paul, WB4WCJ. Paul, about some comments for the prenet. This is N4OZI.
Okay, Alan, real fine. Just wanted to check and hear that Sam was checking in. I think I've been here and been having high doors over here, and other life activities. But yeah, good to hear Sam for sure. Real fine. So turn it back to you, Alan. And N4OZI, WB4WCJ, Paul Hardyville.
All right, Powell, sounding good. WB4WCJ. This N4OZI sounding very good into Woodstock, so he's going to be coming in good tonight, and the band can only get better at this point. Let's see if we can pick up Roy, W4IDD. Roy, about some comments for the prenet. This is N4OZI.
Thank you, Alan. Good evening to the prenet. This is W4 Road in Pensacola. Still waiting for the band to open up just a little bit further, Alan, down here. The wall is still up here around the Interstate 10, so we're still waiting for the band, but we're sounding good. No problem. Haven't got anything, but going to get on the net and be available when the net gets going. Good job. Thank you, Alan, for picking me up.
Okay, very good, Roy. For IGD and for OZI, well, band should pick up, but you're sounding good, sounding real good. All right, I'm going to pick up Stan next, and then after that I'll take a standby for check-in. And Stan, I got a call from Bob. He's at the doctor's office just before the night, so it's a little late to get started. So he's still at the doctor's office, so won't be able to check in tonight. So K4BKC says check him in, and he'll try to get back if he can. W4KR, go ahead and take it for some comments. This N4OZI.
Okay, thank you, Alan. N4OZI, W4KR. Well, good evening, everybody. Yeah, thanks for the message, Alan. Appreciate that. Haven't chatted with Bob in quite a while. Hope he's coming along. Let's see. It's temperature here this afternoon right now is 58 degrees. It's coming down a little bit. I'm located, for guys that maybe don't know, I'm over in South Carolina, in the far northwest corner of the state, about 50 miles west of Greenville, about 12 miles northwest of some place that's got a college. Oh yeah, Clemson. That's who it is. Clemson. And I'm running about 280 watts tonight. Rig's got a couple of 4-400s in it. I could push them a little more, but that's enough for tonight. And what else do I know? That's really about it, Alan. I'm going to turn it back to you. Copying everybody. Roy down in Pensacola, you were coming through fine. You were a little louder than when you first called in, so it's doing well. Back to you, Alan, and carry on. And for OZI, this is W4KR.
Okay, Stan, W4KR in the pre-net, send for OZI. Well, booming signal as always. You're always feeling the pain over here, so it sounded real good. All right, I promised we'd take a standby for check-ins, and we are. This is the SAMRC Swamp and Fellowship pre-net. This is in for OZI, Alan Woodstock. Any other check-ins? Come now.
Whiskey 4, Whiskey Foxtrot Lima.
Kilowatt November 4, Mexico Echo.
4FH1.
Okay, Whiskey 4, Whiskey Foxtrot Lima, KN4ME, and WA4FHY. Any other check-ins? All right, I think we got it, so let's go to John. K4VZS down there in Pensacola. How about some comments for the pre-net, John? It's N4OZI.
N4OZI, K4VZS. Well, I'm copying it, but it's pretty noisy down here. I'm not going to make the net tonight. I'm trying to get over a cold I've had for a week now, and it just don't want to go away. Anyway, on the Ranger. No, I'm not on the Ranger. I'm on the T90 today. It's feeding the QRO, of course, but anyway, it's good to hear everybody. I'm trying to get back up and moving again and see what happens. Like I say, I don't think I'll be here for the net. N4OZI, K4VZS, Pensacola.
Okay, John, K4VZS, well, the T90 is sounding good, doing real well, coming in well up here into Woodstock. It's N4OZI. Let's go to Dr. Ron, WB4GWA. How about some comments for the pre-net there, Dr. Ron? It's N4OZI. I'll try him again and see if I can get him. He might be having a little trouble there, Dr. Ron, WB4GWA, N4OZI.
Alan, was it me you were calling instead, KN4ME?
No, I got you further down the list. I think Dr. Ron may be having a relay problem. We'll skip over him and try to catch him in the net. Let me go to the next one down the list, WB4OQF, Don. About your comments for the pre-net, it's N4OZI. WB4OQF, you there?
Don, they're calling you.
All right, let me go on down to Greg, WB4KKJ. How about some comments for the pre-net there, Greg? It's N4OZI.
Good evening, Alan. N4OZI, WB4KKJ. Well, rough copy on here tonight, Alan, but we're able to pull you out. What I can get, you sound good. So, but Don just stepped away from his radio a minute, so I just got off the phone with him. So I'm dropping notes so that you're looking for it. So I'll turn it back over to you, Alan. Thanks for coming up on the pre-net. N4OZI, WB4KKJ, Page, Florida.
Okay, Greg, WB4KKJ, N4OZI. Well, you're sounding good, sounding real good into the pre-net, so glad you got in there. We'll see if we can catch him on the net. We'll continue down our list here to Richard, W4WFL. Richard, how about some comments for the pre-net? This is N4OZI.
Okay, this is W4WFL, and just wanted to check in and get on the roster for the night coming up shortly. and hope everyone's doing pretty good. I hate that John's still fighting that cold. I think he has been fighting it for quite a while. I'm just right now getting on the mend. Just got better today from some kind of virus over the weekend and yesterday. So I hope John does get over his pretty soon. But we're doing good here. Anyway, I'll be standing to hear everyone there. This is W4WFL in Pensacola, Florida.
Okay, Richard, W4WFL. This N4OZI. Well, sounding good up here. Appreciate you checking into the Freenet. Let me go and pick up Dr. John now. Dr. John, now it's your turn. KN4ME. How about some comments for the Freenet, N4OZI?
Yeah, thank you, Alan. I apologize for jumping in. Like for some reason, I had just tuned up, and I didn't realize that you already had that many check-ins. And I thought maybe we were confusing Dr. Ron and Dr. John. I apologize. Anyway, I'm copying everybody here. I've got a good central listening location here in northwest Alabama. And it's especially good to hear Paul, WB4WCJ. It's been probably 3 or 4 years since we talked. Paul, it's good, really good to hear you. And of course, the regulars that check in here, it's always good to hear them in here for pre-net as well as net. I'll stick around for net if I can. Some family things going on with the birthday, and I may get called away. But excellent signal, Alan, and thanks for doing the pre-net. N4OZI, KN4ME.
Okay, Dr. John. KN4ME and the pre-net N4OZI. We'll keep you on the list, and we'll call you if you're not there. We understand that you got called away. Not a problem. Let me see if I can pick up Paul, WA4FHY. Paul, how about some comments for the pre-net, this N4OZI? WA4FHY, you there?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. N4OZI, WA4FHY. Yeah, I tried to check in earlier, and I think my signal is much more readable if the amplifier switch is in the operate rather than the standby mode. And I've got much better conditions tonight. Last 2 nights been having a lot of static. It sounds pretty quiet tonight. So carry on, doing a great job, and copying everybody up here without any problem. N4OZI, WA4FHY.
Okay, Paul. WA4FHY, N4OZI. Well, sometimes you get a little fade on the bands, and, you know, if you don't get in on the first time, try again, and eventually we'll get you in there. Sometimes the band doesn't quite work out. Let me see if I can go back up and pick up Dr. Ron, see if he's back in here. WB4GWA. Dr. Ron, how about some comments for the pre-net, N4OZI?
Okay, Alan, let me see if this one works. N4OZI from WB4GWA. I first turned on the Ranger tonight, and when I keyed it, it wasn't there. And occasionally that happens. I have to take it out of the case and massage it a little bit and talk to it real sweet and get it working again. So I came over here and turned Millie on. So anyway, you're sounding good in here. Appreciate you calling the pre-net, staying the net. It's good to hear everybody, and hope everybody is doing well. We're okay here in Concord, and I've been tinkering on some projects today, and got a few more to work on tomorrow maybe. So that's about it, Alan. It's getting close to net time, so I'll turn it back to you. N4OZI from WB4GWA in Concord.
Okay, WB4GWA. N4OZI. I could tell you were in there, and I could tell you were having a keying problem. So I thought, give them 5 minutes and let them work it out, and then they'll go back to them. I bet it'll be there. I know how that is. All right. Well, I certainly appreciate everybody's checking in on the pre-net and everybody's help. And it's getting up to the top of the hour, so it's time to turn it over to Stan. W4KR. So take it. This is N4OZI.
Okay, Mr. Allen, thank you. N4OZI, W4KR. Alan, thank you for the fantastic job as usual. Every other week, bang, there he is, hacking at it and doing a great job doing it. Thanks a lot, Alan. In a way, that's that pre-net job's harder than this one, because I got the script. You write the script for me every week, Alan. Thank you. I appreciate that. Every other week, I appreciate that. This is W4KR. My name is Stan. I'm located in the northwest corner of South Carolina, running peaking about 1,400 watts. Running about a little over 300 RF this evening, and chugging along the amplifier in this big box. I got a pair of 400s in it, and I could go down through the rundown, but I ain't gonna do that tonight. I did that a couple of weeks ago. Let's see what we have here. This is the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net for Tuesday, February the 7th. And no, I guess it's February the 6th, not 7th. 7th is tomorrow. Well, it's 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock somewhere out in the Atlantic. It's 7 o'clock. Anyway, we meet every Tuesday night here. The pre-net, as you all know, discovered, begins at about 5:30 Eastern time, and the net begins at 6. And we run for, depending on how many folks call in, the number really is sometimes between the high 20s and the middle 30s, and we get done more or less in an hour or so. And Southeastern AM Radio Club is an organization that's been around now in its formally for 23 years. It was going in formally a little bit prior to that, a couple of years prior to that, with some folks that are still here and some folks that the Lord has called home. So it's a little bit of the older, a little bit of the newer. And we have at this point, unless Eddie tells us differently, we have 296 members. So from now on, this is W4AMI, the call sign of the Southeastern AM Radio Club, and I'm going to begin tonight. First, I'll give just a little quick preamble. We operate as a directed net. We'll call stations as in the order in which they called in the pre-net. And about every 15 minutes or so, we'll take a standby for folks who are just finishing dinner and getting on the air. We'll do that too. Ron, I understood your pain a little bit. I've been playing for about 3 days, getting a Ranking Valiant going, and just about the time I get done with one thing, something else pops up. So it's always a challenge with this old stuff. Normally, I would start with our president, A4BKC, but I understand he's. Well, let's find out. Bob, are you back yet? K4BKC, W4AMI. Nope, he's not. So I trust we'll get to. Bob will check in when he gets home. Next up is our vice president, Mr. Sam. KF4 TFQ. Just pick it up, Sam. W4AMI. Go ahead.
All right, W4AMI in the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net. Good to be here. Good to hear everybody on 3885 for the net. And I'm on another quest. I'm still playing games with my Johnson matchboxes, and I found a good use for the cabinets and so forth, because they make my 6-foot rack in here in the shack much more usable and sightly, so forth. So I need the cubicle case for a Johnson kilowatt matchbox, and I could also use some parts and everything from the 275 matchboxes. They make great interfaces for you know, driving your amplifier with your solid state rig. It's nice to have that link couple arrangement, so forth. It gives you an automatic impedance transfer and keeps a lovely amount of distance in terms of RF between the high impedance resonant side of your tuner and the link. But anyway, but things are going well here. It's a beautiful day here in Dadeville, Alabama. We got about 55 degrees, about double nickels. 55 degrees, a little hazy, but mostly blue skies. And we've had a good day here. Just looking forward to the rest of the net, hearing everybody check in. But if anybody's got a Johnson Matchbox case, I'd be interested in that. And it doesn't have to be beautiful. It just has to be not all banged up. And that would be lovely. Back to you, Stan. You're doing a great job. W4AMI, a.k.a. W4KR in Walhalla. And I hope Miss Joan is right there with her legal pad backing you up. And Stan, appreciate what you do for the net. And Alan, you did a great job with the pre-net. So back to net, W4AMI. This is KF4TXQ. Diddly-da-di-da.
Okay, thank you, Sam. I got somebody in the background here kind of chuckling. She's got her legal pad in one hand and got her buggy whip in the other. And I'm not sure which arm she uses the most at 6 o'clock every other Tuesday. Anyway, good to hear you, Sam. You're just rocking in here right now, doing a great job. And thank you for the kind words. As I think I said a couple of weeks ago, doing this is an honor and a privilege, and I appreciate it, enjoy it very much. Okay, next up is Eddie. I think you got left out of the pre-net, but anyway, we'll put you ahead of Ron tonight. KA4AMI, who is our treasurer and also functioning as our secretary these days. KA4AMI, W4AMI. Go ahead.
Okay, W4AMI. This is KA4AMI. Well, good evening, Stan. Man, you sound good down here tonight, and thank you, Alan. You were also sounding good. In fact, everybody's sounding good. Hadn't heard a bad signal yet. I heard him say. I thought I heard him say that the I-10 curtain was up, but he was coming in up here real good. So hopefully we'll hear everybody real well tonight. Let's see. You mentioned new members. No, we don't have any new members this week. The last one was a week or so ago. It was number 296, Gary. He was the last one. So we got 296 and growing. And not too much going on here. We went and had our taxes done today. Always glad to get that out of the way. So take a deep breath now. Went out to eat and still enjoyed this beautiful day down here. It was in the 50s. It's pretty chilly outside, but just absolutely beautiful. In fact, the sunlight was so strong in our back windows, it got up to be 81 degrees, I believe it was, in the living room, and we actually turned the air conditioning on. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it was so hot up there. But down in the basement here, it's 64, and I'm freezing. So anyway, that's all the whining I'll do tonight. But good to hear everybody, and just give you a heads up, within the next 2 weeks, may not be next Tuesday night, but maybe by the following Tuesday, I'm going to put out our State of the Club report. And it's being put together now. I'm not sure I'll have it ready next week, but within the next 2 weeks, we'll have it and let everybody know what's been going on for the last couple of years and what we're looking at in the future. So with that, Stan, We're on the Gates BC1G tonight. Listen on the 75A4. The in-fed half-wave antenna up about 75, 80 feet. So 7-3 for now to everybody. And back to you, Stan. Thank you so much. W4AMI. This is KA4AMI.
Okay, Eddie, thank you. KA4AMI, W4AMI. Thanks for the comments on the audio. I've got it just about where it needs to go. It's getting real close to the other gadget that I was using for quite a while, and it's getting close. When I get done tweaking and I'm getting closer, I will be letting you know. Anyway, thanks, Eddie. Thank you so much for all the effort and time that you put in, and above all, keeping us financially solvent. Next up is our guy. Here's a guy with 3 jobs. He is our webmaster for w4ami.org, which is a wonderful website with all kind of information about ham radio, about the club, and about the people in it, and all kinds of good stuff. Another one of his job is he's the trustee of the organization and of the oversight body. And job number 3 is counselor-in-chief. WB4GWA. Dr. Ron, come on in here. W4AMI listening.
Okay, Stan. W4AMI from WB4GWA. And howdy, Joe. And howdy to everybody else on the net tonight. Sure good to hear everybody, and good strong signals tonight. I've got several things I wanted to mention. I mentioned it last week. If anybody's interested in taking WBBQ home with them, please drop me a note and let me know. We are anxious to be able to move WBBQ, the BC250GY that Andy had. We want it to go to a good home, and if you feel like you can do that and put it in a corner in memory of Andy and operate it and enjoy it, please let me know, because that's the last piece of equipment we need to move. And I wanted to also call your attention to a couple of things. Number one, there had been some questions about the history of the club, and I was kind of hoping that the ER article would be out pretty soon, and maybe it will be, because there's a little bit in there. But I sat down this afternoon and wrote a history of the club, and I had posted it on the website, and it is the history as it happened, in terms of those of us who got together and formally instituted the club. And so you might go to the website and take a look. On the front page there. There's the history of the club in all its glory. And I ran it by Sam, and he concurs with what is written there. And of course, many of you do remember those days, and you remember the early days when we got on and started calling for members, and they started pouring in, and the club grew quickly from the very beginning. And it has continued its growth and is doing very well, and we're really, really happy about that. So it is posted on the website for everybody to see it. The other thing I would mention is there's a wonderful book out that I would call your attention to, and I've been reading it, and it's a social history of amateur radio. It's called The World of Ham Radio, 1901 to 1950, and it's by Richard Bartlett. And it's a wonderful book because it doesn't deal so much with the technical that is there, but it tells the backstory of many people who were involved, and the development of the hobby, and the development and contribution of amateur radio in the culture. And few people know this, I'm sure, but we almost didn't exist because the Department of Navy wanted to run us off, and it documents all of that. So it's an interesting book, and if you don't have a copy of it, I'd encourage you to get it and take a look at the social history of amateur radio. It's really good. And let's see, there was something else I was going to mention, but I can't remember it right now. The old Ranger decided to hiccup on me, and I think it's the grid drive. That happens every once in a while. I have to take it out of the cabinet and shake it up real good and put it back on, and it'll work again for a little while. So she's not getting any grid drive, and that's the problem with it. But anyway, we're on Millie tonight, and hearing everybody really well tonight. Good signals all the way around. Stan, you're doing a great job and coming in here really good. That's about all I have. I think I've covered everything, and flip it on back to you. W4AMI from WB4GWA in Concord.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Look forward to reading that. I looked at the website briefly this afternoon. I was looking to see if we had any new members actually, and so I was going to mention that. This W4AMI. Speaking of the history of the club, in its modern day form, Bob asked me about almost 3 years ago if I would do this, and I was looking to see when that first day was, and it was May the 11th of the 2021. I figured, well, I'll do this for a year and see how it goes. And year three is on its way. Year three is just about here, and it certainly has whizzed by. Anyway, enough of that. This is the Southampton AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net. We're going to take a standby for any latecomers, and then we'll begin going down the list. Anybody else wanting to join us? Come on in right now. W4AMI listening.
KW4 TV.
W4 WFL.
Okay, I acknowledged KW4 TV and Richard, WFL, we had you on the list. You were already on the list. You called in right after WB4KKJ, so we've got you on the list from the first time around. Anybody else? Okay, not hearing anybody. Therefore, we will go on. W4AX, Mac, your transmission. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, Stan. W4AMI, W4AX, and thanks so much for running the net. And Ken, I hope you have fun in Orlando. It's a great ham fest. Looks like you're going to have super weather. Look forward to seeing everyone at Dalton. I think it's, 3 weeks from this Saturday, or is it 2 weeks? But I'll have 4 tables in the brick building. Come by and say hello. And let's see, John, I hope David had a great retirement luncheon, and I hope you and Richard both recover and start feeling better here real soon. Dr. Ron, thanks so much for the history. I did read it. I was around somewhat in those days, and I was talking with Sam about that before the net, so it was a great history. And I'll keep it short here. It was great seeing Dr. John and Greg and Butch last week. Thank you guys for your hospitality. And finally, Free to a Good Home, and it's going to need to move soon because the radio station wants it out of there, is an RCA Bravo Tango Alpha 1 BTA 1-MX AM transmitter. I've seen pictures. It's in really good shape. I hadn't been out in the weather. Great restoration candidate. And if you're interested in it, drop me an email, and I'll put you in touch with the person that's giving it or that's coordinating the giveaway. I think it's in South Carolina. All right, back to you, Stan. W4AMI, W4AX.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. That is a those things are huge. They are. We think 20V3s are big. Mac, not next to that RCA. Anyway, we'll see if a home can be found for it. Okay, next up, K3JWI. Jimmy, you here? Go ahead.
W4AMI, K3JWI. Well, I don't know about Jimmy, but he's not here, but Ken's here. Stan, hi. Very good. Good evening all the way around, everybody. Good signals into Harrison, Tennessee. And, yeah, thanks for the good wishes to Orlando. And you might, since I'm early on the list, as we go down the list, anybody else that's going to be in Orlando or heading to Orlando, you might comment. That way maybe we can look each other up or cross paths while we're down there. I've never been, so looking forward to it. But anyway, no traffic for the net. Everybody sounds good. And we're on our 20V3, and yeah, it's a big enough piece of iron. You're right, Stan. I don't need any multiple width cabinets more than what I already have. So that's the rundown here. Pretty day, as everybody has reported, and hopefully the weather will be suitable for the Florida area. W4AMI, thanks for running the show, Stan, and thanks, Alan, for the pre-net K3JWI.
Okay, Ken, I'm sorry. I had you on the list. I had you on the list as Ken, but I don't know why I said Jim. There's a call. There's a call as part of the old friends group. It's a call very similar to yours, and I think that's what I was thinking there. Okay, next up is. Oh, by the way, Ken, regarding Orlando, you're in for quite a treat. It is the best organized. I've been in this hobby a very, very long time, and it is the best run swap in the country bar none. Those cats in Orlando are in the hospitality business, and those guys that run that club do a marvelous job. They're really first class. And my expectation is to continue looking at the numbers. It will be the largest, another 3-4 years, it'll be the largest one in the country. Next up, W4CDJ. Dan, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Stan. W4AMI in the net. W4CDJ, and I might add in southeastern Indiana. But that's not where we started with the net. I think that was probably in Sweetwater, Tennessee, or Waynesboro, Georgia, or one of those places when I was still working for a living instead of enjoying retirement. Stan, you're 20 plus over there, as well as everyone else. Really good signals tonight, good conditions. Nice quiet band, no complaints on this end. And Mac, I think I commented earlier, I might know a gentleman that might be interested in that RCA BTA1 Triton. But I'll have to get a hold of him, and then we'll have to make arrangements and see what it weighs and figure out a way to get it back to the Hoosier state here. Mac, I heard you say you were familiar with Cincinnati. Well, that's where I was born. And then Mom and Dad got me out of Ohio as soon as they could and carried me back here to God's country in Indiana. So that's how that works. Thanks for letting me in. Eddie, I think you asked what we were running. It was early and really wasn't good conditions at that point in time. We're on a homebrew rig here. It's a pair of 833s modulating a 4-1000 with no external audio. Sockwood SW200 in the transmitter. And we're exciting it with an ICOM 746 Pro. So that's what we got here, guys. Hope it sounds okay. Back to you there, Stan, and really appreciate you picking me up. W4AMI in the net. W4CDJ.
Okay, Dan. Wouldn't surprise me that RCA weighs about 1,500 pounds. It is a huge cabinet. But anyway, that looked good down there in southwestern Indiana. Southeastern Indiana, rather. Yeah, it would. Okay, enough. W4MA. Bill, how are you tonight? This is the Southeastern AM Radio Club, W4AMI listening.
W4AMI from W4MA. Good evening, Stan. Great to hear you. Great signal. Great to hear most everyone. Good copy on all. It seems like band conditions are pretty good. Thanks, Stan, for your dedication. I did not realize the length of time you've been net control station for SAMRC, but thank you very much. Excuse me. Yeah, the name here is Bill. I'm in North Georgia. And I think, Eddie, you are what I was running. I'm running a Johnson Ranger 1 Johnson Curry amplifier. It has two 572Bs in it, 811s and so forth. And had it quite some time. Anyway, that's pretty much what I go to. I've slimmed it down to what I need and what I wish to use, and that's about it. But thanks for the inquiry. Sam, KF4TXQ, thank you for your help on the Heathkit project. I'm slowly getting around to it. We've had some home improvements here. Still trying to get everything situated after the home improvements, and I'll get right on that project. Do not have that at all. But great day today, great weather. I hope everyone enjoyed it as I did. Spent most of the day outside doing this and that. It's enjoyable to jump in here and say hello to you guys and hear some good AM signals. W4AMI from W4MA 73. Good evening.
Okay, Bill. Thank you. Thank you for coming aboard tonight. Appreciate your presence every week. It's good to hear you. Also early in the morning. By the way, this is W4AMI. By the way, I forgot to mention at the outset, we do trade parts around, and every once in a while somebody needs something and mentions it, and lo and behold it appears, and that's the mode that I'm in at this minute. If anybody has a Ranger or a Valiant or a Navigator that is absolutely parts only, I need a couple of VFO parts. I need a couple of parts out of the VFO cage. The little phenolic rods that allow you to calibrate the thing. I need a couple of those, and those little bitty springs that fly all over creation. Anyway, if anybody's got anything like that, give me a holler. And go to QRZ. You'll find my email address and go from there. Next up, Paul, WB4WCJ. How are you tonight, Paul? W4AMI. Go ahead. WB4WCJ. Okay, I guess Paul's not with us at this minute. We'll come back to him later. Roy, W4IDD. How are you tonight? Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Stan. Good evening to you and all the net. This is W4I Roy in Pensacola. And as Miss Benny Pearl used to say on the Grand Ole Opry stand, she'd come out on stage and say, "Howdy, I'm just so proud to be here." And I really am proud to be here this evening, Stan. Good to be alive and enjoy ham radio. And the signal seems to be coming up on me down here, and the bands are looking good, and you're doing good with it, so there you go. Well, let's see. I'm running a Yaesu 990 this evening, an all-synthesized rig. Hearing on the same rig on a pair of 72Bs in a little B&W amplifier. So there's the story. I'm running also electro-verify 27 microphone. I hope it sounds okay. And so there you go. I'm going to cut it short this evening, Stan, and turn it back to you. You've got a pretty good list going, and you're doing a great job with it. I will close with this little statement, Stan. I hope everybody up there in Radio Land is as good as I look, and everybody have a great week and be safe. Back to you, Stan, from W4, I did a little Pensacola.
Okay, Roy, thank you. Roy, I was watching the S-meter, and you were a solid 20/9 up here. So, yeah, band's opening up pretty good. Okay, this is the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net. I'm going to take a brief standby to see if we have any late arrivers. Come on in, please.
WA4II.
W4OLJ.
WA4KM. Hotel Uniform Mike.
Took me a minute to write all that stuff. Okay, Greg, WA4II, good evening to you. And good evening, Virgil. Had to take my earphones off. Doggone. K4HUM, I got you. Good evening. And WA4KM. Anybody else? Okay. Good addition. K4HUM. That's who he is. Okay, Lenny. Got you on the list. Okay, moving along. John, K4VZS. Go ahead. K4VZS. John, are you back?
He said he wouldn't be back.
Yeah, that's. I recall him saying that, so I thought, anyway, we give him a shot. We'll give him a find out. Okay, we got Ron, so we've got him off the list. Had him earlier on. WB4OQF, view transmission. Go ahead. Don, WB4OQF. Nope, didn't get him. Okay, Greg, your turn. WB4KKJ. Go ahead.
Good evening, Stan. W4AMI, WB4KKJ. You done a good job tonight there, Stan. Sounding good down here in Pace, Florida, just outside of Pensacola. And wanted to say thanks to Alan for running the pre-net. And Dr. Ron, thank you very much for doing that update for me on those one picture I sent you of John a couple of weeks ago and to my station the other day. Thanks again, sir. Appreciate your help on that. And Mac, you were sounding good in the Pace tonight if you're still around. So, Stan, just on the Johnson Ranger, as John calls it, the People's Radio. Got a Collins S75S1 receiver, D104 microphone, non-preamp. Running legal limit into Drake L4B. So we'll turn it back over to you, Stan. Thanks again for everything. W4AMI, WB4KKJ.
Okay, Greg, the lash up's doing great up here. Good to hear you. That's a good hike from there to here. Okay, Richard, W4WFL, your transmission.
Yeah, W4AMI, this is W4WFL, and don't have a whole lot to report here other than I'm running the Johnson Viking 1, along with the Hallicrafters S71 for listening, and both seem to be working as designed, and everything's working as well here. And weather here in Pensacola is 62. We did hit 70 today. today doing some cleanup around the property and put the plow on and turn over the plant so that I can plant these potatoes this week. So spring's coming. That's my report. So anyway, that's all I'm saying. To the group, and God bless America. And this is W4WFL Pensacola.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Boy, send springtime up here. It's it was cold up here this morning. It was only 34 at about 6 o'clock this morning. Pretty chilly. But anyway, good to hear you tonight, and thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Okay, next up is W4W. Next up is KN4 Echo Echo KN4EE. Go ahead. KN4EE.
Stan, I think that's KN4ME.
Emmy, KN4ME. Dr. John, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I had already jumped in once inappropriately, and I didn't want to do it again. It's KN4 Mike Echo, Killen, Alabama, and grateful to be receiving some excellent AM signals here on this R398 and copying everyone. So don't have much else. Beautiful day here. We're looking forward to some more good weather this week, trying to get some things done outside. And with that, I will pass it back to you, Stan, W4AMI and the crew. Oh, let me thank Mac again for the comments about the visit. We thoroughly enjoyed it here. Butch and Greg, your company is welcome anytime, and the invitation extends to the other AM stations listening here. We've got a bunch of equipment, and always happy to have ham operators. Don't have to be AM, but we particularly enjoy the AM. Come over and join us for Eyeball QSO. W4AMI, KN4ME.
I recall when you called in, Dr. John, I called you by the right call and proceeded to write down KM4EE, and just as I was making that call, I'm saying, who is that guy? He doesn't sound familiar. Okay, didn't look familiar. Sorry about that. You know, old age is coming, I guess. You know, the feeble times lie ahead. Thank you, Dr. John. Thanks for coming. Okay, next up's WA4FHY. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Paul, WA4FHY. I'm sitting here enjoying listening to everyone, and playing with Roble for today. My good news is I've got the Valiant backlog set up on the workbench. A little bit minor stuff. I don't have it on the hair again. So enjoying the net. Thank you all for coming and back to you. Let's control.
Okay, thank you. Good luck with getting the rig going. When I took on that Valiant project a while ago, it worked perfectly. There was nothing wrong with it. Yeah, right. That's the way it goes. KW4TV. Manuel, how you tonight? W4AMI, over.
W4AMI. This is KW4TV. Doing well, Stan. Thank you for checking me in. You're doing a great job as always. And a little shout out and a prayer for John. Hope he gets better. And hope to see him this weekend if he's able to get out and about. And with that, I'll let you have it back. Doing a great job as always. W4AMI. It's KW4TV.
Okay, Manuel, thank you for your kind words. Appreciate that. By the way, you're 30 over down here, up here. Holy cow. Conditions are getting better. Okay. Greg, WA4III. How you tonight? Go ahead.
W4AMI and the net. This is WA4III. Well, doing pretty good. Been a nice day today, and I played around in the shop for a little while, but I know that we're going to have some more cold weather. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have some freezing weather after this. I remember one time, and I don't know what year it was, it turned off warm and the fruit trees started blooming, and then it come a hard freeze and killed all the couple peaches around. So I don't know. I hope that don't happen again, but I'm not the one that's in control. I'm running the old trusty Valiant with the, well, right now I got the R4A in line, dipole antenna, and his old Tim up in Maine says a D10-4 microphonium. So anyhow, that's what we got here. Thanks for picking me up. W4AMI, this is WA4II. Back to Nate.
Okay, Greg. Oh boy, that sounds like Brother Smith up there in Maine. Wow. Amen. This is W4AMI, Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net, who is now going to turn it over to W4OLJ.
W4AMI, the net, this is W4OLJ. Okay, Stan. Boy, the signals are strong tonight, strong and clear. Sure are. Lots of them coming in. Just everybody is strong, not having any trouble with anybody. Been a nice day here today. Got out and got a few things done in the yard. Well, I had a few things done. I had my handyman here, and he done a bunch of things I couldn't do, and got the yard all straightened out. Getting that time of year to spring's on the way. Well, anyway, Dr. John, you were talking about Norm the other day. I talked to Norm yesterday. Excuse me. I talked to him yesterday, and he said he had one of the Rangers and a receiver over in the house, and all he needed was some jumpers. Had a dial key relay, and he needed some jumpers, so I rounded him up some, but they were RG8. The only ones I had were the big coax, RG8, you know. Well, he didn't want that. Norm, he's kind of particular, so he's got him some ordered, made out of the RG8X, I think, smaller stuff. But anyway, sound like he's going to be on there with us before long, and I just thought I'd throw that in there, Dr. John, because you were asking about him, and he's finished his treatments, took his last treatment, and got him a new car. So things looking up maybe for Norm. That's about it, about all I got here. So back to you, Stan. Thanks a lot. You're doing a great job there. W4AMI, this is W4OLJ.
Okay, Virgil, thank you. You're back up to 40 over again. So bad conditions are heading upstream. Good to hear you, my friend. Good to hear you. And be well. Wish I had an outdoor guy. Be handy. Okay, next up is Lenny, K4HUM. Go ahead, my friend.
Hey, Roger. W4AMI, K4HUM. This is working. I got to the back. I don't know what came through the chat, but through my radio station. Or it did not really. Anyway, we'll kind of human attack and see if I can get a report. This is a J28-847, which is a HFU, satellite radio. So anyway, it's working. I surely enjoy this net. And at least I got this one to listen. If it's talking okay, I'll check it in. That's a warning. Talking around. Good to hear y'all. K4HUM backwards, and
Okay, Lenny, thank you. Good copy tonight. Good to hear you. Next station up is the City of Gold. Your transmission, over.
Hey, Stan, good evening. W4AMI, this is WA4KM. Kevin over here in West Georgia, Villarica, the city of Go. Good evening. And I believe that Ranger that Norm got was I had 3 of them, and CDJ Dan come got 2 and took one of them to Norm. I believe that's it, and it's a beautiful Ranger and worked great. So Dan got that up to Norm. I'm pretty sure that's the one. And appreciate you jumping in there too, Virgil, and helping Norm out. Norm's been around for a long time, and he's been through a lot, so we have to keep him lifted up in our prayers. We lost track of time. My wife actually come and got me. I was in the shop working on a few chainsaws. I got my old, was it an 034 steel? Thing's right at 60 cc's, and oh Lord, I pulled on that thing so much, I swear I think my arm's about pulled off. It ain't like my Huskies with a primer bulb, but I've let it set too long, so I'm going to tear that carburetor apart on it. But anyway, that's why I was running late. I got so involved in that all afternoon that I lost track of time, or I'd have been here a little earlier. But I guess I'm not late because I made it before you closed it out, but late for me because I'm normally in here a little early. And in that building I can't tell and lose track of time. But anyway, I appreciate all that you do, Stan. You got a great net, and Alan always has a good pre-net. And with that, I will hold it. And you're booming in here, by the way. I did catch Mac right when I first got in here. Mac was pegging the meter over here, so he's super loud. So anyway, Stan, thanks again for calling that. You do a fantastic job. And we'll catch y'all maybe Thursday. 73's WA4KM. Back to net.
Okay, Kevin. W84KM, W4AMI. Thanks for coming in. I have an 029, and it's been I've sort of retired it because I got tired of pulling that, and with a ranch boss, and they're doing a little better. What I found with the 029, every once in a while you got to change the little fuel carrying tube and to get gas into the carb, and then it'll behave for a while. But there's something. And I bought that thing used. I bought that thing used, Kevin, 30 years ago from a rental shop up in Ann Arbor, and they were getting rid of it. So it's broken in. Put it that way. Okay, Kevin, thanks again for coming tonight. Take care. We'll see you Thursday night. This is W4AMI, the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net. Anybody else care to join before we shut her down tonight?
W4NAC.
Okay, I got W4MAC. Anybody else? Okay, MAC, go ahead. Can't remember your name. Go ahead.
Good evening. W4MAC. It's Matt down here in Florida. Trying to remember to turn on the radio a little bit earlier to check in on the net and get to meet a few of the guys that are out here. Sounding good, most definitely. I appreciate you doing what you're doing and promoting your own activity. We're trying to get more involved in. And with more helicopters, definitely grateful for our website. It put me in touch with Greg. Got some stuff this morning. Guess I'll be driving to Georgia this weekend. Don't have a whole lot behind me that. Just want to check in, make your acquaintance, and let you know we're out here listening. W4MAC, back down here in Florida.
Okay, Mac. Thanks for checking in tonight. You were number 25 there at the bottom of the list. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Okay, before we go any further, anybody else?
N4OYT.
N4OYT. N4OYT. All right, you'll get it in just a second. Before I do that, let me see. K4BKC, have you gotten home, Bob? Over. Okay, don't hear him. Okay, last call. N4OYT, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening. This N4OYT. Down here in the swamp of Bloomingdale, Georgia. Just listening and
Everybody sounded pretty good. Nothing going on here any special. Running the little flex radio tonight and the old Clipper and L amplifier. Other than that, nothing special. Old Boeing stuff sitting over there resting. Info-YT back to the net. Y'all carry on. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, and good night to you. Take care. That brings us to the end of the list, and time to say good night. Thanks everybody for coming aboard, and special thanks to our friends up in the northeast part of the country who've been kind enough to wait till we get done. We got finished a little earlier than usual tonight, so y'all can have at it if you've been up there listening. Thanks a lot for everybody who joined us, and to our many listeners. I know we have quite a few that listen, but don't check in, or a few SWLs on top of it. This is W4AMI. Good night.
Thank you, Stan, for doing the net. Great job. I did it.